The story of Heo Hwang Jade begins not merely as a tale of a queen, but as an extraordinary chronicle of human connection that transcended oceans and cultures. In the annals of history, few figures exemplify the blending of distant civilizations as powerfully as this princess from the ancient Indian kingdom of Ayodhya, whose destiny led her to become the Queen of Gaya, a small but thriving kingdom in what is now South Korea. Her journey is a testament to courage, divine guidance, and the enduring power of cultural exchange. Long before the age of global trade routes or the exchange of ambassadors, Ayodhya stood as a beacon of prosperity and spirituality. It was a kingdom known for its lush landscapes, bustling markets, and its role as a spiritual epicenter of the Indian subcontinent. Amidst this grandeur was Heo Hwang Jade, the daughter of King Padmasambhava and Queen Indumti, who was revered not only for her royal lineage but also for her wisdom and benevolence. Her upbringing was steeped in the traditions of her homeland, with an education that blended governance, philosophy, and the arts skills befitting a future leader. Yet, her life took a turn that no one in Ayodhya could have foreseen. Legends recount that Heo Hwang Jade's fateful journey began with a divine vision. According to the tale, the young princess experienced a vivid dream in which a celestial being appeared, instructing her to embark on a voyage across the sea to a distant land where her presence was destined to alter the course of history. The message was clear yet enigmatic, as dreams often are, and it weighed heavily on the princess's heart. Despite her comfort and privilege in Ayodhya, she felt a profound sense of duty to heed the call. The decision was not without its challenges. Leaving behind her family, her homeland, and the familiarity of her culture was a sacrifice few could fathom. With the blessings of her parents and the preparations befitting a royal envoy, Heo Hwang Jade set sail on her voyage. Accompanied by an entourage of sailors, scholars, and attendants, she boarded a ship laden with treasures from Ayodhya, golden ornaments, silks, and sacred artifacts meant to symbolize her homeland's goodwill. The journey was perilous, with uncharted waters, unpredictable storms, and the constant threat of pirates. Yet, the young princess remained steadfast, guided by her faith and the belief that her journey was ordained by the gods. When her ship finally reached the shores of Gaya, the reception was unlike anything she could have imagined. Gaya, though small in comparison to the empires of China or India, was a prosperous kingdom renowned for its iron production and strategic location. Its ruler, King Suro, was a leader of great wisdom and charisma. Upon hearing of the arrival of a foreign princess, the king himself came to meet her, intrigued by the tales of her journey and her royal stature. Their meeting, as recounted in the legends, was marked by mutual respect and curiosity. King Suro, impressed by her courage and grace, proposed marriage, a union that would not only blend two distant cultures, but also solidify Gaya's position as a beacon of diversity and progress. The marriage of Heo Hwang Jade and King Suro was a landmark event. The queen brought with her the traditions, knowledge, and resources of Ayodhya, which enriched Gaya in countless ways. She introduced new agricultural techniques, spiritual practices, and artistic expressions, weaving the heritage of her homeland into the fabric of her adopted kingdom. Her presence strengthened the diplomatic ties between Gaya and other regions, fostering trade and cultural exchanges that benefited both kingdoms. Beyond her role as a cultural bridge, Heo Hwang Jade proved to be an indispensable partner to King Suro. She was not merely a consort but a collaborator in governance, offering insights and strategies that helped Gaya flourish. Her compassion and wisdom endeared her to the people, who saw her as a symbol of unity and harmony. Together, King Suro and Queen Heo established a dynasty that would leave an indelible mark on Korean history. The legacy of Heo Hwang Jade is not confined to the realm of mythology. Her story has been passed down through generations, enshrined in texts such as the Samguk Yusa, memorabilia of the Three Kingdoms, and celebrated in monuments and cultural festivals. Modern scholars and historians continue to explore the historical underpinnings of her tale, uncovering fascinating connections between ancient India and Korea. Her lineage, carried forward by her children, gave rise to the Kim and Heo clans, two of Korea's most prominent families whose influence persists to this day. But the story of Heo Hwang Jade is more than a tale of one woman's journey or the dynasty she helped build. It is a narrative that speaks to the timeless human quest for connection, understanding, and shared destiny. Her life serves as a reminder that even in the ancient world, where distances were vast and cultures often seemed insurmountably different, individuals could forge bonds that transcended those divides. It is a story that resonates with audiences across the globe, inspiring reflections on our shared humanity and the bridges we continue to build across cultures and continents. As we delve deeper into the chapters of Heo Hwang Jade's life, from her upbringing in Ayodhya to her transformative journey and her enduring legacy in Gaya, we uncover not just the history of a queen, but the story of a world far more interconnected than we might imagine. Her tale invites us to explore the possibilities of unity and cooperation, even in the face of daunting odds, and to celebrate the richness that comes from embracing the diversity of our global heritage. In the heart of ancient India, nestled along the banks of the Sarayu River, stood the Grand Kingdom of Ayodhya, a realm steeped in tradition, prosperity, and spiritual significance. Ayodhya was no ordinary kingdom. It was the cradle of Vedic culture, a place where philosophy and governance intertwined seamlessly, and its kings were revered not just for their power but for their wisdom and piety. Among its many rulers, King Padmasambhava and Queen Indumti were particularly admired for their benevolent reign. The royal couple, beloved by their subjects, had one treasure above all others: their daughter, Princess Heo Hwang Jade. From the moment of her birth, Heo Hwang Jade was surrounded by a sense of destiny. The royal astrologers, upon observing the stars aligned at her birth, proclaimed that she was destined for greatness. Her name, though unfamiliar to modern Indian tongues, carried a profound meaning: the one who brings peace and harmony. She was not merely a princess but a beacon of hope for Ayodhya's people, a figure who embodied the virtues of compassion, wisdom, and courage. Growing up in the royal palace, Heo Hwang Jade received an education that far surpassed the standard for women of her time. Her father, King Padmasambhava, believed that a ruler's strength lay not only in their armies or wealth, but in their understanding of the world and their ability to make just decisions. He personally oversaw her training in statecraft, diplomacy, and philosophy, while her mother ensured she was skilled in the arts and versed in spiritual teachings. By her teenage years, Heo Hwang Jade was not just a figure of beauty and grace, but a young woman whose intellect and insight impressed even the kingdom's most seasoned advisors. The kingdom of Ayodhya was a bustling hub of activity. Its markets overflowed with merchants trading goods from distant lands, including spices, silks, and gemstones. Temples and shrines dotted the cityscape, their towering spires reaching toward the heavens, a testament to the devotion of its people. Festivals brought the streets to life, with music, dance, and colorful processions celebrating the gods and the cycles of nature. Amidst this vibrant tapestry of life, Heo Hwang Jade stood as a symbol of the kingdom's prosperity and its aspirations for a harmonious future. Yet, as serene as Ayodhya seemed on the surface, the royal family was acutely aware of the challenges facing their realm. The kingdom's strategic location made it a coveted prize for rival rulers, and maintaining peace required constant vigilance and skilled diplomacy. King Padmasambhava often spoke to his daughter about the weight of leadership and the sacrifices it demanded. These conversations planted the seeds of responsibility in Heo Hwang Jade's heart, preparing her for the trials she would one day face. One fateful night, as the moon cast its silver light over the palace gardens, Heo Hwang Jade had a dream that would change the course of her life. In her vision, a radiant figure bathed in golden light appeared before her. The figure spoke in a voice that resonated with divine authority, telling her of a distant land across the seas where her presence was urgently needed. "You are chosen," the figure declared. "A great destiny awaits you in the kingdom of Gaya. There, you will bring peace and prosperity, uniting people across cultures and creating a legacy that will endure through the ages." When Heo Hwang Jade awoke, she was both awed and troubled by the dream. It felt more vivid than any she had experienced before, and she could not shake the sense that it was a message from the gods. She confided in her parents, recounting every detail of the vision. King Padmasambhava, though initially skeptical, could not dismiss the possibility of divine intervention. Ayodhya's spiritual advisors were consulted, and after days of meditation and prayer, they confirmed what Heo Hwang Jade already felt in her heart. The dream was a calling she could not ignore. Preparing for such a journey was no small feat. The seas were uncharted and fraught with dangers, from violent storms to fearsome pirates. Yet, the princess faced these challenges with remarkable resolve. Her parents, though heartbroken at the thought of losing their beloved daughter, recognized the importance of her mission. They provided her with a royal entourage of sailors, scholars, and attendants, as well as gifts that would serve as tokens of goodwill: golden ornaments, intricate textiles, and sacred artifacts from Ayodhya's temples. As the day of her departure approached, the people of Ayodhya gathered to bid farewell to their princess. The city streets were lined with citizens holding lamps and garlands, their prayers and blessings filling the air. Heo Hwang Jade, adorned in regal attire that reflected the splendor of her homeland, addressed the crowd with a calm yet powerful voice. "Though my journey takes me far from Ayodhya, my heart will always remain here. I go not for myself but for a greater purpose, one that the gods have entrusted to me. May our kingdom continue to thrive, and may we always be united in spirit." Her departure was marked by both sorrow and hope, as her ship sailed down the Surayu River and out into the vast ocean. Heo Hwang Jade stood at the bow, gazing back at her homeland one last time. She carried with her not only the treasures of Ayodhya, but also its dreams and aspirations. The princess, now a voyager, was embarking on a journey that would test her courage and faith in ways she could never have imagined. The voyage itself was an ordeal of epic proportions. The ocean was a realm of untamed beauty and unpredictable fury, its vastness both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Heo Hwang Jade and her entourage faced weeks of unrelenting waves, sudden storms, and the constant fear of becoming lost at sea. Yet, through it all, the princess remained a steady presence, her calm demeanor and unwavering faith inspiring those around her. She often led the crew in prayer, invoking the protection of the gods and drawing strength from her belief in the righteousness of her mission. As the weeks turned into months, the ship finally approached the shores of Gaya. The sight of land was a moment of indescribable relief and joy for the weary travelers. Heo Hwang Jade's heart swelled with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation as she prepared to meet the people who would become her new family. Little did she know that her arrival would mark the beginning of a chapter in history that would resonate through the ages. The kingdom of Gaya, nestled in the fertile Nakdong River basin, was a land of promise and potential. Its people were skilled artisans and traders, renowned for their mastery of ironworking and their strategic acumen. Yet, like Ayodhya, Gaya faced its share of challenges, from external threats to internal divisions. The arrival of a princess from a distant land was an event unlike any the kingdom had witnessed before, sparking curiosity and wonder among its people. When Heo Hwang Jade stepped ashore, she was greeted by a delegation led by King Suro himself. The king, known for his wisdom and charisma, was struck by the princess's poise and dignity. Though their languages and customs differed, there was an immediate sense of mutual respect between them. It was clear to both that their meeting was no mere coincidence, but a convergence of destinies guided by forces beyond their understanding. Thus began Heo Hwang Jade's journey in Gaya, a land where she would not only find love and purpose, but also leave an indelible mark on its history and culture. Her arrival was more than the culmination of a long and arduous voyage. It was the start of a legacy that would bridge continents and endure through the ages. The voyage that Princess Heo Hwang Jade embarked upon was not just a journey of miles, but of transformation. To leave behind Ayodhya's familiar warmth and venture into the uncharted seas demanded unparalleled courage. And the young princess carried with her the weight of both divine purpose and human doubt. As her ship left the safety of the Suro River and entered the vast expanse of the ocean, the scale of the challenge before her became undeniable. The vessel was a masterpiece of Ayodhyan craftsmanship, constructed with the finest timber and fortified to endure the unpredictable tempests of the open sea. Its hull was adorned with intricate carvings of celestial beings, a testament to the spiritual significance of this voyage. Aboard the ship, Heo Hwang Jade was accompanied by an entourage of trusted advisors, sailors, and attendants. Each member of this group had been carefully selected for their loyalty, skills, and faith in the mission ahead. They carried supplies of food, water, and ceremonial gifts intended for the unknown land where they were headed. In those early days, the ocean seemed like a canvas of endless blue, serene and welcoming. The crew marveled at the beauty of the horizon, where the sky and sea seemed to merge in perfect harmony. Heo Hwang Jade herself spent hours on the deck, gazing at the waves and meditating on the vision that had brought her here. She often spoke with her advisors, discussing the spiritual significance of their journey and seeking counsel on how best to fulfill her destiny once they reached their destination. But as weeks turned into months, the challenges of the sea began to reveal themselves. The once calm waters gave way to sudden squalls, with winds that howled like feral beasts and waves that crashed against the ship with relentless force. During one particularly violent storm, the vessel groaned under the strain, its mast threatening to snap as the crew struggled to keep it afloat. Amid the chaos, Heo Hwang Jade emerged from her cabin, her calm presence a beacon of hope for the frightened crew. Clutching a small, gilded idol of a Hindu deity, she led the crew in prayer, calling upon divine protection to guide them through the storm. Her unwavering faith had a profound effect on the sailors, who redoubled their efforts with newfound determination. Through their collective strength and Heo Hwang Jade's leadership, the ship weathered the storm and emerged into calmer waters. The experience left an indelible impression on the crew, who began to regard their princess not just as a royal figure, but as a spiritual leader whose courage and devotion could overcome even the mightiest challenges. Beyond the physical hardships, the voyage also tested the travelers emotionally. The isolation of the open sea, far from the comforts of home, weighed heavily on the crew. They missed their families and the familiar rhythms of life in Ayodhya. To lift their spirits, Heo Hwang Jade organized evenings of storytelling and song, where the crew shared tales of their homeland and their dreams for the future. These moments of camaraderie reminded them of the shared purpose that bound them together and renewed their resolve to see the journey through to its end. As the ship sailed further from the Indian subcontinent, the travelers began to encounter unfamiliar sights and peoples. They passed by archipelagos dotted with verdant islands, where the local inhabitants greeted them with a mix of curiosity and caution. On one such island, the travelers stopped to replenish their supplies and were welcomed by a small fishing community. Heo Hwang Jade, ever the diplomat, exchanged gifts with the islanders and shared stories of Ayodhya, fostering a brief but meaningful connection between their cultures. The journey was not without its dangers. At one point, the ship was shadowed by a band of pirates who saw the heavily laden vessel as an enticing target. A tense standoff ensued as the crew prepared to defend their ship. Heo Hwang Jade, though untrained in combat, stood resolutely among her people, refusing to show fear. Her courage inspired the crew, who managed to outmaneuver the pirates and continue their voyage unscathed. Amid these trials, Heo Hwang Jade often retreated to her quarters to reflect on the magnitude of her mission. She wrote in her journal, an intricate scroll made of fine Ayodhyan paper, about her thoughts and fears, her longing for home, and her hopes for the future. These writings, though lost to history, were said to be filled with insights that revealed the depth of her character and the strength of her resolve. Finally, after months of travel, the crew spotted land on the horizon, The sight of the distant shoreline brought a surge of emotion to everyone on board. Tears streamed down the faces of sailors who had doubted they would ever set foot on solid ground again. Heo Hwang Jade herself knelt on the deck, offering a prayer of gratitude to the gods who had guided them through their perilous journey. As the ship drew closer, the travelers saw that the land before them was lush and fertile, its hills cloaked in emerald green. They had reached the shores of Gaya, a kingdom that would become their new home. The anticipation was palpable as they prepared to disembark, unsure of what awaited them but filled with hope and determination. Heo Hwang Jade's arrival in Gaya was not merely the end of a journey but the beginning of a new chapter in her life. The young princess, who had braved the challenges of the sea with grace and courage, was about to step into a role that would forever change the course of history. In the eyes of her entourage, she was no longer just a princess from Ayodhya. She was a symbol of divine purpose and human resilience, a bridge between two distant worlds. When Princess Heo Hwang Jade set foot on the shores of Gaya, she was met with a land that was both foreign and familiar. The landscape, with its rolling hills and fertile plains, bore a resemblance to Ayodhya, yet the people, customs, and language were unlike anything she had known. The air buzzed with curiosity as news of her arrival spread across the kingdom. To the people of Gaya, the arrival of a foreign princess from across the sea was not just a rarity, it was a miracle. King Suro, the ruler of Gaya, was among the first to greet her, tall and commanding, with a reputation for wisdom and fairness. He embodied the ideal qualities of a leader. When he first met Heo Hwang Jade, he was struck not only by her beauty but by the aura of strength and serenity that surrounded her. Despite the language barrier, their initial interaction was one of mutual respect. The princess, with her calm poise and confident demeanor, conveyed through gestures and her interpreter the reason for her journey and the divine vision that had led her to Gaya. King Suro, who himself was said to have been chosen by the heavens to unify the people of Gaya, saw their meeting as no mere coincidence. He believed that Heo Hwang Jade's arrival was a sign from the gods, a divine blessing meant to strengthen his kingdom. After days of discussions and ceremonies, he proposed marriage, a union that would symbolize the merging of two distant cultures into one harmonious entity. The wedding was a grand affair, blending the traditions of Gaya and Ayodhya in a display of unity and mutual respect. The people of Gaya adorned their villages with vibrant banners and flowers, while the entourage from Ayodhya prepared offerings and decorations reflective of their homeland. Heo Hwang Jade, dressed in an exquisite gown of Ayodhyan silk embroidered with golden threads, was escorted to the ceremonial site where King Suro awaited her in traditional Gaya attire. The ceremony was held under an open sky, with the Nakdong River shimmering in the distance. Priests from both cultures recited blessings in their respective languages, their prayers weaving together the spiritual traditions of two ancient civilizations. The couple exchanged vows, their hands bound together with strands of silk as a symbol of unity. When the ceremony concluded, the gathered crowd erupted into cheers, celebrating not only the union of their king and his new queen but the beginning of a new era for Gaya. As queen, Heo Hwang Jade quickly became a beloved figure among the people. Her arrival brought a sense of renewal to Gaya, a kingdom that was already thriving but had yet to fully realize its potential. She immersed herself in the culture of her new home, learning the language, traditions, and ways of life of its people. At the same time, she introduced elements of Ayodhyan culture, creating a unique fusion that enriched Gaya's identity. One of her most notable contributions was in the realm of agriculture. Drawing on the knowledge she had brought from Ayodhya, she introduced new farming techniques that improved crop yields and ensured food security for the kingdom. She also shared innovations in irrigation and soil management, which helped transform Gaya's fertile plains into a reliable source of sustenance for its growing population. Culturally, Heo Hwang Jade was a bridge between two worlds. She brought with her the artistic and spiritual traditions of Ayodhya, from intricate textile patterns to the philosophy of Dharma. Under her influence, Gaya saw the creation of new art forms that blended Indian and Korean motifs, as well as the adoption of rituals that emphasized harmony and balance. These cultural exchanges fostered a deeper sense of identity among the people of Gaya, who began to see themselves not just as inhabitants of a single kingdom, but as participants in a broader global narrative. Despite the challenges of adapting to a new land, Heo Hwang Jade thrived in her role as queen. Her intelligence and diplomatic skills made her an invaluable advisor to King Suro, who often sought her counsel on matters of governance and strategy. Together, they formed a formidable partnership, addressing the kingdom's challenges with a combination of pragmatism and vision. Whether it was negotiating trade agreements with neighboring states or resolving disputes among Gaya's clans, Heo Hwang Jade's input was instrumental in maintaining peace and prosperity. Yet, her most profound impact was on the hearts of the people. The queen's compassion and accessibility endeared her to her subjects, who saw her as a mother figure and a symbol of unity. She made regular visits to villages, listening to the concerns of her people and addressing their needs. Her efforts to improve the lives of Gaya's citizens earned her the nickname Mother of the Kingdom, a title that reflected the deep affection and respect she commanded. The marriage of Heo Hwang Jade and King Suro was more than a personal union. It was a cultural revolution that shaped the future of Gaya. Their partnership laid the foundation for a dynasty that would endure for generations, influencing the course of Korean history in ways that are still felt today. Through her courage, vision, and unwavering commitment to her new homeland, Heo Hwang Jade proved that the blending of cultures was not a threat but a source of strength, a lesson that resonates as strongly now as it did centuries ago. As the queen settled into her role, the story of her journey and her marriage became the stuff of legend, passed down through generations. Yet, for Heo Hwang Jade, her journey was far from over. Her life in Gaya was just beginning, and the legacy she would leave behind was still taking shape. The union of King Suro and Queen Heo Hwang Jade marked the beginning of a new chapter in the history of Gaya. While their marriage was celebrated as a symbol of cultural and spiritual unity, it was their shared vision for the future that truly defined their reign. Together, they laid the foundations of a dynasty that would not only transform Gaya into a thriving kingdom, but also leave an indelible mark on Korean history. Gaya was a land of promise, blessed with fertile plains and rich iron deposits. However, like any emerging state, it faced challenges in consolidating power and maintaining stability. King Suro, known for his strategic acumen, had already begun the work of unifying the clans of Gaya when Heo Hwang Jade arrived. Her presence added a new dimension to his efforts, bringing with it the wisdom and cultural insights of Ayodhya. The queen quickly became an active participant in the governance of the kingdom, offering advice and spearheading initiatives that would strengthen its foundations. One of the first challenges they addressed was the internal fragmentation of Gaya's clans. While King Suro had managed to unite many of the clans under his rule, tensions still lingered. Each clan had its own traditions and interests, and the process of integration was fraught with disputes. Queen Heo Hwang Jade played a crucial role in mediating these conflicts. Drawing on her diplomatic training and her natural empathy, she worked to foster a sense of shared identity among the people. Through a combination of dialogue, cultural exchange, and carefully crafted alliances, she helped to build trust and solidarity among Gaya's diverse communities. Under their leadership, Gaya began to flourish. The kingdom's strategic location along the Nakdong River made it a natural hub for trade, and the couple worked tirelessly to expand its economic reach. They established trade routes that connected Gaya with neighboring states and even distant lands, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies. Queen Heo Hwang Jade, with her knowledge of Ayodhyan commerce, introduced systems of trade and taxation that boosted the kingdom's prosperity. Her efforts were instrumental in making Gaya a center of regional influence. A key pillar of their dynasty's success was the development of Gaya's famed iron industry, The region's iron deposits were among the richest in the ancient world. And under King Suro's direction, the kingdom became a leader in the production of high-quality iron goods. Queen Heo Hwang Jade's contributions extended beyond governance to the practical aspects of economic development. She encouraged the adoption of advanced metallurgical techniques from her homeland, which enhanced the efficiency and output of Gaya's ironworks. The tools and weapons produced in Gaya became highly sought after, solidifying the kingdom's position as a key player in regional trade. As the kingdom grew in strength and prosperity, so too did the royal family. Heo Hwang Jade and King Suro were blessed with several children, who would go on to play significant roles in the continuation of their dynasty. Among their descendants were the founders of the Kim and Heo clans, two of Korea's most prominent families. These clans became pillars of Korean society, contributing to its cultural, political, and economic development for centuries to come. The royal couple placed great emphasis on the education and upbringing of their children. They believed that a strong dynasty required not only capable leaders but also individuals who embodied the values of compassion, wisdom, and unity. Heo Hwang Jade took a personal interest in their education, ensuring that they were well-versed in the traditions of both Gaya and Ayodhya. She introduced them to the philosophies and spiritual teachings of her homeland, instilling in them a sense of responsibility and purpose. Beyond the palace walls, the queen's influence extended to the lives of ordinary citizens. She championed initiatives to improve the living standards of the people, particularly in the areas of agriculture, health, and infrastructure. Drawing on her knowledge of Ayodhyan agricultural practices, she introduced innovations that increased crop yields and ensured food security. She also worked to improve access to clean water and promoted the construction of roads and canals that facilitated trade and communication. One of Heo Hwang Jade's most enduring legacies was her role in fostering cultural exchange. She encouraged the integration of Ayodhyan and Gaian traditions, creating a rich tapestry of art, music, and literature that reflected the diversity of the kingdom. Festivals became a platform for celebrating this fusion of cultures, with performances that combined the melodies of Ayodhyan instruments with the rhythms of Gaian drums. These cultural exchanges not only enriched the lives of Gaya's people, but also strengthened their sense of unity and shared identity. As the years passed, King Suro and Queen Heo Hwang Jade's partnership became a model of leadership and harmony. Their complementary strengths, his strategic mind and her diplomatic skills, allowed them to navigate the complexities of governance with remarkable success. Together, they transformed Gaya from a fledgling kingdom into a thriving state, laying the groundwork for a dynasty that would endure for generations. Their accomplishments were not without challenges. The process of building a dynasty required difficult decisions and sacrifices. They faced opposition from rival states, internal dissent, and the ever-present threat of natural disasters. Yet, their resilience and unwavering commitment to their people enabled them to overcome these obstacles. Each challenge they faced only strengthened their bond and deepened their determination to leave a lasting legacy. By the time they reached the later years of their reign, King Suro and Queen Heo Hwang Jade had not only secured the future of Gaya but also cemented their place in history. Their story became the foundation of a legacy that would inspire generations, a testament to the power of unity, vision, and the blending of cultures. For the people of Gaya, they were not just rulers, they were the embodiment of hope and the architects of a brighter future. As Gaya flourished under the reign of King Suro and Queen Heo Hwang Jade, it grew into a vibrant hub of trade and diplomacy. Its strategic location along the Nakdong River positioned the kingdom as a natural crossroads for commerce, and the royal couple's visionary leadership capitalized on this advantage. Together, they transformed Gaya into a beacon of prosperity, forging alliances and fostering cultural exchange that extended far beyond its borders. From the beginning of her reign, Queen Heo Hwang Jade recognized the immense potential of trade to strengthen Gaya's economy and solidify its place in the region. Drawing from her knowledge of Ayodhya's sophisticated trading systems, She introduced practices that revolutionized the way commerce was conducted in Gaya. She advised King Suro to establish regulated marketplaces where merchants could trade goods openly and fairly. These markets became bustling centers of activity, attracting traders from neighboring states and even distant lands. The Queen's influence was particularly evident in the kingdom's approach to maritime trade. Having traversed the vast ocean herself, she understood the importance of establishing secure and efficient trade routes. Under her guidance, Gaya's navy was strengthened to protect merchant vessels from piracy and ensure safe passage for goods. She also championed the construction of well-equipped ports along Gaya's coastline, transforming them into hubs for international trade. The goods flowing into Gaya were as diverse as the cultures of the traders who brought them. Spices, textiles, and precious stones from India mingled with ceramics and silks from China, while iron tools and weapons crafted in Gaya found their way to markets across East Asia. This thriving trade brought not only material wealth but also an influx of ideas, technologies, and cultural practices that enriched the kingdom in countless ways. Diplomacy played a crucial role in securing and maintaining these trade relationships. Queen Heo Hwang Jade, with her experience in the courts of Ayodhya and her natural diplomatic acumen, became a key figure in Gaya's foreign relations. She encouraged the use of treaties and alliances to build trust with neighboring states, fostering a network of partnerships that benefited all parties involved. Her ability to navigate cultural differences and find common ground was instrumental in resolving disputes and preventing conflicts. One of the most significant diplomatic achievements of their reign was the establishment of strong ties with Baekje, one of the three kingdoms of Korea. Baekje's rulers admired the prosperity of Gaya and recognized the value of a strong partnership. Queen Heo Hwang Jade played a central role in these negotiations, leveraging her charisma and insight to secure agreements that facilitated the exchange of goods, knowledge, and technologies between the two kingdoms. This alliance not only bolstered Gaya's position in the region but also laid the groundwork for a period of peace and collaboration. Queen Heo Hwang Jade also encouraged cultural exchanges as a form of diplomacy, believing that shared traditions could foster unity and understanding. She hosted festivals and events that showcased the artistic and culinary traditions of both Ayodhya and Gaya, inviting dignitaries and merchants from across the region to participate. These gatherings became opportunities for dialogue and connection, strengthening the bonds between Gaya and its allies. Beyond the material benefits, trade and diplomacy brought a sense of interconnectedness to Gaya's people. They began to see themselves not just as citizens of a single kingdom but as participants in a broader, dynamic network of cultures and civilizations. This perspective, cultivated under the leadership of King Suro and Queen Heo Hwang Jade, became a defining feature of Gaya's identity. Yet, the path to prosperity was not without its challenges. Rival kingdoms and external threats often sought to disrupt Gaya's growing influence. During one such crisis, when a coalition of hostile forces threatened the kingdom's trade routes, Queen Heo Hwang Jade's strategic foresight proved invaluable. She proposed a series of defensive alliances and coordinated with Gaya's navy to ensure the protection of its merchants. Her efforts not only safeguarded the kingdom's economic lifeline but also reinforced its reputation as a formidable power. Through their combined efforts, King Suro and Queen Heo Hwang Jade established Gaya as a center of trade and diplomacy, a legacy that would endure long after their reign. The wealth generated by their initiatives funded advancements in infrastructure, education, and the arts, enriching the lives of their people. Meanwhile, the relationships they cultivated with other states laid the foundation for a more interconnected and peaceful region. The couple's success in this realm was a testament to their shared vision and complementary strengths. King Suro's strategic mind and military prowess provided the backbone for Gaya's expansion, while Queen Heo Hwang Jade's diplomatic skills and cultural insights brought a level of sophistication and unity that elevated the kingdom to new heights. Together, they demonstrated that prosperity and peace could be achieved not through conquest, but through collaboration and mutual respect. As the kingdom continued to grow, The seeds of trade and diplomacy sown by King Suro and Queen Heo Hwang Jade blossomed into a flourishing network of connections that spanned the ancient world. Their reign was a shining example of how cultural exchange and cooperation could transcend boundaries, creating a legacy that would inspire generations to come. As Gaya ascended to prominence under the rule of King Suro and Queen Heo Hwang Jade, it was the queen's wisdom that often illuminated the path forward during the kingdom's most trying times. Her ability to navigate complex challenges with empathy and intelligence became one of her most celebrated qualities, earning her the trust and admiration of not only King Suro but also the people of Gaya. Heo Hwang Jade's role extended far beyond that of a ceremonial figure. She was deeply involved in the kingdom's governance, frequently advising King Suro on matters ranging from domestic policies to foreign affairs. Her diplomatic skills and innate understanding of human behavior enabled her to mediate disputes and craft solutions that balanced the interests of all parties involved. One of her most notable contributions came during a period of internal strife among Gaya's clans. While King Suro had united the clans under his rule, their differing traditions and rivalries often led to disputes that threatened the kingdom's unity. Queen Heo Hwang Jade, drawing on her experiences in Ayodhya, proposed a series of reforms aimed at fostering a sense of shared identity among the clans. She encouraged the creation of interclan festivals and ceremonies, where families from different regions could come together to celebrate their common heritage. Over time, these gatherings helped to bridge divides and strengthen the bonds between the people of Gaya. Her wisdom was also evident in her approach to economic development, recognizing the importance of a stable and equitable society. She introduced policies to support the kingdom's farmers and artisans. She advocated for fair taxation and ensured that resources were allocated to improve agricultural practices, such as irrigation and crop rotation, by prioritizing the welfare of Gaya's working class. Heo Hwang Jade helped to build a foundation of economic stability that supported the kingdom's rapid growth. Beyond policy, Heo Hwang Jade's wisdom shone in moments of crisis. One such moment arose when a severe drought struck Gaya, threatening the kingdom's food supply and livelihoods. The queen took immediate action, organizing relief efforts and mobilizing resources to support the affected regions. She worked closely with local leaders to coordinate the distribution of food and water, ensuring that aid reached those who needed it most. Her compassionate leadership during this time earned her the enduring loyalty of the people, who saw her as a protector and caretaker of the kingdom. Heo Hwang Jade's wisdom extended to the spiritual realm as well. As a devout believer in the divine purpose of her journey, she often drew upon her spiritual beliefs to guide her decisions. She introduced rituals and practices from Ayodhya that emphasized harmony and gratitude, which resonated deeply with the people of Gaya. Temples dedicated to both local deities and those of Ayodhyan origin became places of worship and reflection, fostering a culture of spiritual inclusivity that enriched the kingdom's cultural fabric. Her influence was particularly profound in the education of Gaya's future leaders, including her own children. Heo Hwang Jade believed that a ruler's primary responsibility was to serve their people, and she instilled this value in her children from a young age. She ensured that they were educated in the principles of governance, diplomacy, and ethics, as well as the traditions of both Gaya and Ayodhya. Her teachings shaped their character and prepared them to carry forward the legacy of their parents. The queen's wisdom was also a source of strength for King Suro. Their partnership was marked by mutual respect and collaboration, with each recognizing the unique strengths the other brought to their shared rule. In moments of doubt, King Suro often turned to Heo Hwang Jade for counsel, valuing her perspective and insight. Their bond, built on trust and shared purpose, became the cornerstone of Gaya's success. Under her guidance, Gaya became a kingdom that valued knowledge, compassion, and unity. Her ability to see beyond immediate challenges and envision a brighter future for her people made her an exceptional leader. The queen's wisdom was not confined to her own time. It laid the groundwork for a legacy that would influence Gaya for generations to come. As the kingdom thrived, The people of Gaya came to view Queen Heo Hwang Jade as more than a monarch. To them, she was a symbol of resilience and enlightenment, a figure who embodied the ideals of justice and harmony. Her wisdom, rooted in the traditions of Ayodhya yet shaped by her experiences in Gaya, bridged the gap between two worlds and created a unified vision for the kingdom's future. The years of her reign saw Gaya not only grow in wealth and power but also in its sense of identity and purpose. Heo Hwang Jade's wisdom was the guiding light that helped Gaya navigate the complexities of its rapid development, ensuring that the kingdom's progress was balanced by compassion and fairness. Her legacy, intertwined with that of King Suro, became a testament to the transformative power of wise and empathetic leadership. As Queen Heo Hwang Jade and King Suro grew older, their attention increasingly turned to their children, the heirs to their legacy and the future of the Kingdom of Gaya. The royal couple understood that the strength and stability of their dynasty rested on the shoulders of the next generation. With this in mind, they dedicated themselves to shaping their children into leaders who would embody the values of compassion, wisdom, and unity that had defined their reign. The children of Heo Hwang Jade and King Suro grew up in a unique environment, shaped by the harmonious blending of two rich cultures. From their mother, they inherited the philosophical traditions and spiritual depth of Ayodhya, along with the stories and practices that had guided Heo Hwang Jade's own life. From their father, they gained the strategic acumen and resilience of a ruler who had unified the clans of Gaya and forged a thriving kingdom. This dual heritage became both a source of strength and a guiding principle for the royal heirs. Queen Heo Hwang Jade placed great emphasis on education, believing that knowledge was the foundation of effective leadership. She personally oversaw her children's studies, ensuring they were well-versed in governance, diplomacy, and ethics. The royal tutors were among the finest in the kingdom, teaching the young princes and princesses the intricacies of statecraft, trade, and military strategy. Alongside these practical lessons, Heo Hwang Jade instilled in her children a deep appreciation for art, culture, and spirituality, believing that a ruler must understand the soul of their people to truly lead. As the children grew, their individual talents began to emerge, each contributing to the legacy of the royal family in unique ways. The eldest son, Prince Jeodong, stood out for his leadership qualities and his natural ability to inspire loyalty among his peers. Groomed to succeed King Suro, Jeodong embraced his responsibilities with a sense of purpose. Guided by the teachings of his parents, he often accompanied his father on official duties, observing firsthand the complexities of governance and diplomacy. His mother's influence was equally evident in his decisions, which balanced pragmatism with empathy. The younger siblings also played vital roles in shaping the future of Gaya. The second son, known for his intellectual curiosity, took a keen interest in trade and economic development. Inspired by the trading networks established by his parents, he worked to expand Gaya's commercial reach, fostering relationships with neighboring kingdoms and ensuring the continued prosperity of the realm. Meanwhile, the daughters of Heo Hwang Jade, raised with the same emphasis on education and leadership as their brothers, became influential figures in their own right, marrying into powerful families and strengthening Gaya's alliances. One of the most significant aspects of Heo Hwang Jade's legacy was the establishment of the Kim and Heo clans, two prominent families that traced their lineage directly to her and King Suro. These clans played a crucial role in the history of Korea, their members contributing to the nation's cultural, political, and economic development for centuries. The Kim clan, in particular, grew to be one of the most influential in Korean history, with its members serving as leaders, scholars, and innovators across generations. The Heo clan, while smaller in number, also left an indelible mark, known for its contributions to diplomacy and cultural preservation. The children of Heo Hwang Jade carried forward her vision of unity and inclusivity, ensuring that the Kingdom of Gaya remained a beacon of cultural harmony. They maintained the traditions introduced by their mother, from the Ayodhyan-inspired festivals to the integration of spiritual practices that emphasize balance and gratitude. These traditions became an enduring part of Gaya's identity, celebrated by its people as a testament to their shared heritage. Queen Heo Hwang Jade's influence on her children extended beyond their roles as leaders. She sought to instill in them a sense of responsibility not just to their kingdom but to the broader world. She often spoke of the interconnectedness of humanity, drawing on her own journey across the ocean as a metaphor for the bonds that unite people. Regardless of distance or difference, her teachings inspired her children to approach their duties with a global perspective, fostering relationships with other kingdoms that enriched Gaya's cultural and economic landscape. As the children assumed their roles within the kingdom, Heo Hwang Jade and King Suro watched with pride as their dynasty continued to flourish. The principles they had instilled in their heirs ensured that the values of compassion, wisdom, and unity remained at the heart of Gaya's leadership. Through their children, the legacy of Heo Hwang Jade and King Suro lived on, shaping not only the future of Gaya but also the broader history of Korea. The legacy of Heo Hwang Jade's children is a testament to the enduring impact of her vision and values. By raising a generation of leaders who embodied the ideals of their parents, she ensured that the kingdom of Gaya would remain a symbol of harmony and progress. Her descendants carried forward her dream of a united and prosperous land, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire and resonate to this day. As the years passed, Queen Heo Hwang Jade and King Suro began to shift their focus from active governance to mentoring the next generation of leaders. The kingdom of Gaya was flourishing, its economy thriving and its people enjoying a period of relative peace and prosperity. Yet, even in the twilight of her reign, Queen Heo Hwang Jade remained deeply involved in the life of the kingdom, her wisdom and compassion continuing to guide its course. In her later years, the queen often reflected on the journey that had brought her to Gaya. She would recount stories of her homeland, Ayodhya, to her grandchildren, sharing tales of its grand temples, vibrant festivals, and the divine vision that had set her on her path. These stories became cherished memories for her family, a reminder of the interconnectedness between their two cultures. For Heo Hwang Jade, these reflections were not mere nostalgia but a reaffirmation of her belief in the divine purpose of her life's work. One of her most enduring passions during this time was her involvement in charitable initiatives. Despite the kingdom's prosperity, there were still those who struggled, and the queen dedicated herself to addressing their needs. She established programs to support widows, orphans, and the elderly, ensuring that no one in Gaya was left behind. Her efforts were not limited to providing material assistance. She also worked to create opportunities for education and skill development, empowering the less fortunate to build better lives for themselves. The queen also played a key role in preserving and promoting the cultural heritage of Gaya. She encouraged the documentation of the kingdom's history, commissioning scribes to record its achievements, traditions, and the stories of its people. These records, influenced by her own experiences, captured the rich tapestry of Gaya's cultural fusion and became invaluable resources for future generations. She also supported the arts, patronizing musicians, poets, and artisans who blended Ayodhyan and Gaian influences in their work, creating masterpieces that celebrated the unity of their diverse heritage. In the royal court, Heo Hwang Jade remained a steady and respected presence. Although her children had taken on many of the responsibilities of governance, they often sought her counsel on difficult decisions. Her ability to balance pragmatism with empathy made her an invaluable advisor, and her insights continued to shape the kingdom's policies. Whether resolving disputes among the nobility or guiding Gaya's approach to foreign relations, her wisdom was a cornerstone of the kingdom's stability. Despite her age, Queen Heo Hwang Jade maintained a deep connection with the people of Gaya. She frequently traveled to villages and towns across the kingdom, meeting with citizens and listening to their concerns. These visits were not mere formalities. They were opportunities for the queen to understand the needs of her people and to remind them of the royal family's commitment to their well-being. Her compassion and accessibility endeared her to the populace, who regarded her as both a motherly figure and a divine presence. Her relationship with King Suro, too, remained a source of strength and comfort. The two shared a bond that had been forged through decades of shared challenges and triumphs. In their quieter moments, they would often walk together in the palace gardens, reflecting on their journey and the legacy they were leaving behind. For King Suro, Heo Hwang Jade was not only his queen but his partner and equal, a woman whose presence had transformed his kingdom and his life. As the queen aged, her physical health began to decline, but her spirit remained undiminished. She continued to serve her people with the same dedication and grace that had defined her reign. In her final years, she focused on preparing the kingdom for the future, ensuring that her children and grandchildren were equipped to carry on the legacy she and King Suro had built. She emphasized the importance of unity, compassion, and cultural exchange, values that she believed were essential for Gaya's continued prosperity. Her later years were also marked by a deepening of her spiritual practice. She spent more time in meditation and prayer, seeking a closer connection with the divine forces that had guided her throughout her life. Temples dedicated to the gods of both Ayodhya and Gaya became her sanctuaries, places where she could reflect on her journey and express her gratitude for the blessings she had received. These moments of solitude were a source of strength and peace for the queen, allowing her to face the inevitability of her passing with grace and acceptance. When Queen Heo Hwang Jade eventually passed away, the kingdom of Gaya mourned deeply. Her death marked the end of an era, but her legacy lived on in the hearts and minds of her people. Her funeral was a grand and solemn affair, attended by dignitaries from across the region and by citizens from every corner of the kingdom. She was laid to rest in a tomb near King Suro, a site that would become a place of pilgrimage for generations to come. In the years following her death, Queen Heo Hwang Jade's impact on Gaya only grew more apparent. The values she had instilled in her family and her people continued to shape the kingdom, guiding it through periods of change and challenge. Her story became a source of inspiration, a reminder of the power of courage, wisdom, and unity to transcend boundaries and create lasting harmony. As the sun set on her extraordinary life, Heo Hwang Jade's spirit remained a guiding light for Gaya. Her journey, from the shores of Ayodhya to the heart of Gaya, was more than a tale of personal triumph. It was a testament to the enduring connections between cultures and the universal values that bind humanity together. Her legacy, woven into the fabric of Gaya's history, would shine brightly for centuries to come. The passing of Queen Heo Hwang Jade marked a moment of profound sorrow for the kingdom of Gaya, but it also became a time for reflection and celebration of her extraordinary life. Her death was not merely the loss of a queen, but the departure of a figure who had become the embodiment of wisdom, compassion, and unity for her people. In the days leading up to her death, Heo Hwang Jade had retreated to the serenity of the royal temple, spending her final moments in meditation and prayer. She had sensed the waning of her strength and had prepared herself, as well as her family, for what was to come. Surrounded by her children, grandchildren, and King Suro, she spoke words of gratitude and encouragement, reminding them of the values she had lived by and the importance of carrying them forward. Her final moments were peaceful, her spirit departing as if carried on a gentle breeze. News of her passing spread quickly across Gaya, and the kingdom was enveloped in a collective mourning. From the royal palace to the smallest villages, people gathered to honor the memory of their beloved queen. The loss was deeply personal for many, as Heo Hwang Jade had touched the lives of her subjects in ways that few rulers ever did. Her compassion, accessibility, and tireless dedication to their welfare had made her a mother figure to the entire kingdom. The royal family, led by King Suro and their eldest son, Prince Jeodong, organized a funeral befitting the queen's extraordinary life and legacy. The preparations were meticulous, blending the traditions of Gaya and Ayodhya in a final tribute to the cultural bridge she had embodied. The funeral rites began with a procession through the streets of Gaya, where thousands of citizens lined the roads to pay their respects. The streets were adorned with garlands of flowers, and the air was filled with the solemn melodies of traditional instruments. Heo Hwang Jade's body was carried on an elaborately decorated palanquin, draped in silks of gold and crimson, symbolizing her royal lineage and her divine purpose. Along the route, citizens placed offerings of rice, flowers, and incense, their prayers rising like wisps of smoke to the heavens. The procession culminated at the royal burial grounds, where a grand ceremony was held to honor the Queen's life and contributions. The funeral ceremony was a fusion of spiritual traditions, reflecting the Queen's unique legacy. Priests from both Ayodhya and Gaya recited prayers and chants, invoking blessings for her soul's journey to the afterlife. The rituals were designed to celebrate her dual heritage, with offerings made to the deities of both cultures. It was a poignant reminder of the Queen's role in uniting two worlds, a legacy that would continue to shape Gaya's identity for generations. As part of the ceremony, King Suro and their children delivered eulogies that recounted Heo Hwang Jade's life and the indelible mark she had left on their family and the kingdom. King Suro, his voice heavy with emotion, spoke of her courage, wisdom, and the transformative power of her love. "She was not only my queen, but the soul of this kingdom," he said. Her journey from Ayodhya to Gaya was more than a voyage. It was a destiny fulfilled. She gave us not just prosperity, but a vision of unity and compassion that will guide us forever. Following the funeral, Heo Hwang Jade was laid to rest in a tomb beside King Suro's, a site chosen for its proximity to the royal palace and the Nakdong River, which had been so central to the kingdom's prosperity. The tomb, an architectural masterpiece, was adorned with carvings that depicted scenes from her life: her departure from Ayodhya, her arrival in Gaya, her marriage to King Suro, and her acts of benevolence. It became a place of pilgrimage, where citizens and travelers alike would come to honor her memory and seek inspiration from her story. In the weeks and months that followed, the kingdom of Gaya entered a period of deep reflection. The loss of their queen was a stark reminder of the impermanence of life, but it also reinforced the enduring impact of her legacy. The traditions she had introduced, the policies she had championed, and the values she had embodied became guiding principles for the royal family and the people of Gaya. Her descendants carried her spirit forward, ensuring that her vision of unity, prosperity, and cultural harmony remained at the heart of the kingdom's identity. Beyond Gaya, the story of Heo Hwang Jade's life and death resonated far and wide. Envoys from neighboring kingdoms and distant lands sent messages of condolence and admiration, recognizing the Queen's role in fostering trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. Her life became a source of inspiration, a tale of courage and purpose that transcended borders and spoke to the shared humanity of all people. The passing of Queen Heo Hwang Jade was not the end of her story, but the beginning of a new chapter in her legacy. Her memory lived on in the hearts of the people of Gaya, in the traditions she had nurtured, and in the enduring connections between Ayodhya and Korea. Her tomb, standing as a testament to her extraordinary life, became a symbol of hope and unity, a reminder that even across vast distances, the bonds of compassion and understanding can create something timeless and profound. The life of Queen Heo Hwang Jade was a living bridge between two ancient civilizations, India and Korea. Her journey from Ayodhya to Gaya not only united two distant lands, but also left an enduring legacy of cultural, spiritual, and historical connections that resonate to this day. Long after her passing, her story continued to serve as a testament to the shared humanity that transcends borders. The connection between India and Korea, forged by Heo Hwang Jade's marriage to King Suro, began with the blending of their cultural traditions. As queen, she introduced elements of Indian spirituality, art, and agricultural practices to Gaya, creating a rich cultural fusion that became a hallmark of the kingdom's identity. These influences were not merely adopted but were seamlessly integrated into Gaya's traditions, enriching its cultural fabric and laying the groundwork for centuries of exchange between the two regions. One of the most enduring symbols of this connection is the legend of Heo Hwang Jade itself. As recorded in the Samguk Yusa, Memorabilia of the Three Kingdoms, this 13th century Korean text, compilation of history, folklore, and Buddhist teachings, recounts her arrival in Gaya and her role in its transformation into a prosperous kingdom. The story has been passed down through generations, becoming a cherished part of Korean heritage and a point of pride for the descendants of the Kim and Heo clans. Modern historians and archaeologists have also sought to uncover the historical underpinnings of this legend. In recent years, the connection between Ayodhya and Gaya has been explored through cultural and scholarly exchanges. Evidence of ancient maritime trade routes linking the Indian subcontinent and the Korean peninsula lends credence to the idea that such a journey was possible. And the similarities in artifacts, customs, and linguistic patterns have sparked deeper investigations into the shared history of these two regions. The shared spiritual heritage is another important facet of this connection. Heo Hwang Jade brought with her the spiritual practices and philosophies of Ayodhya, many of which found resonance with the people of Gaya. These included rituals centered on balance, gratitude, and the veneration of nature, which complemented the existing spiritual traditions of the Korean peninsula. Over time, this fusion of beliefs contributed to the development of a unique spiritual identity in Gaya, one that emphasized harmony and inclusivity. In modern times, the story of Heo Hwang Jade has inspired efforts to strengthen the relationship between India and Korea. Cultural festivals, academic collaborations, and diplomatic initiatives have celebrated her legacy as a symbol of unity and mutual respect. One notable example is the Queen Heo Memorial Park in Ayodhya, established to honor her life and her role in connecting the two cultures. This park serves as a tangible reminder of the enduring bonds between the two nations, attracting visitors from around the world who come to learn about her story and the history it represents. The descendants of Queen Heo Hwang Jade, particularly those belonging to the Kim and Heo clans, have also played a role in preserving her legacy. These clans, among the most prominent in Korea, trace their lineage to the royal couple and view their heritage with great pride. Their stories, traditions, and genealogical records serve as living links to the Queen's legacy, ensuring that her impact remains a vibrant part of Korean identity. Diplomatic relations between India and Korea have further strengthened in recent decades, with both nations acknowledging their shared history as a foundation for collaboration. The story of Heo Hwang Jade has been highlighted in official speeches and cultural programs, serving as a symbol of the deep-rooted ties between the two countries. Scholars, artists, and diplomats alike have drawn inspiration from her life, using it as a platform to foster understanding and cooperation. Beyond its historical and diplomatic significance, the connection between India and Korea speaks to the universal themes of Queen Heo Hwang Jade's story: courage, unity, and the transformative power of cultural exchange. Her journey, both literal and metaphorical, reminds us that the world is interconnected and that the blending of traditions can lead to innovation, growth, and harmony. In honoring the legacy of Heo Hwang Jade, India and Korea not only celebrate their shared past, but also reaffirm their commitment to building a future rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Her story, immortalized in history and legend, continues to inspire people across both nations, serving as a beacon of hope and a reminder of the profound connections that unite humanity. The story of Queen Heo Hwang Jade and her journey from Ayodhya to Gaya is more than a historical account. It is a legacy that transcends time. Her life stands as a symbol of resilience, unity, and the power of human connection, inspiring countless generations across Korea, India, and beyond. As her story reached its conclusion, it left behind an enduring imprint on the cultural, spiritual, and historical landscapes of both nations. After her passing, Queen Heo Hwang Jade's legacy became an integral part of Gaya's identity. Her vision of unity and harmony guided the kingdom through periods of change and challenge. Her descendants, who carried her wisdom and compassion, continued to lead Gaya with the same principles she had championed. The Kim and Heo clans, proud of their lineage, became key players in the history of Korea, contributing to its governance, culture, and development. Her tomb, situated beside King Suro's, became a sacred site, attracting pilgrims, scholars, and travelers who came to pay homage to the queen who had bridged two worlds. Over the centuries, it became more than a burial site. It transformed into a symbol of her values, a reminder that compassion, courage, and cultural exchange are the cornerstones of a thriving society. Beyond Gaya, Queen Heo Hwang Jade's story grew into a legend that resonated far beyond the borders of Korea. It was a tale of divine purpose and human determination, of a woman who left her homeland to fulfill a destiny that would change the course of history. Her journey from Ayodhya to Gaya became a metaphor for the transformative power of stepping beyond one's boundaries, both literal and figurative, to create something greater. In modern times, her legacy has taken on new dimensions. The Queen Heo Memorial Park in Ayodhya stands as a tribute to her life and the enduring bond between India and Korea. Visitors to the park, as well as to her tomb in Gimhae, reflect on the Queen's life and the values she embodied. Cultural and diplomatic events celebrate her story, emphasizing its relevance in a world that continues to seek unity amidst diversity. Her tale also inspires artistic and literary works. From poems and paintings to plays and films, these interpretations, while varied in style, all capture the essence of Heo Hwang Jade's journey: the courage to embrace the unknown, the wisdom to build bridges between cultures, and the compassion to lead with empathy. But perhaps the greatest legacy of Queen Heo Hwang Jade lies not in monuments or stories, but in the values she lived by. Her life reminds us that humanity's greatest strength lies in its diversity, and that by understanding and respecting one another, we can create a world that is richer, stronger, and more harmonious, in a time when borders and differences often divide. Her story is a beacon of hope, demonstrating that unity is not only possible but transformative. As history continues to unfold, the legacy of Queen Heo Hwang Jade endures. Her life, marked by courage and purpose, continues to inspire those who hear her story. It is a reminder that even the smallest acts of connection can ripple outward, creating bonds that last for centuries. In the hearts of those who honor her memory, she lives on not just as a queen, but as a symbol of what humanity can achieve when guided by compassion, wisdom, and the courage to bridge divides. Her journey, though completed long ago, continues to inspire new ones, from Ayodhya to Gaya and beyond. Her story is a testament to the power of human connection, a legacy that will remain eternal.